What's going on, guys? Stephen here, S&E's Garage. Today we're going to switch gears a little bit, and we're going to talk about some dealership mechanic things. I kind of wanted to get involved in how does the warranty repair process work when the customer, brings your car into the dealership for repairs. And we're going to get into that today. Hopefully this video will kind of teach you guys, the way the dealership operates. A lot of times the dealership does have their hands tied, so it's not just the dealership trying to be, rough and tough and not repair your car under warranty, because believe it or not, in the dealership, we want to fix your car under warranty. When your car gets fixed for warranty, it's not being done for free. The manufacturer is paying the dealership, which is then paying me, the technician, to perform these repairs. So believe it or not, we actually want the manufacturer to fix your car and step up to the plate because it puts money in our pockets. So let's get right into that. So the first thing I want to get into here is the 3 C's. These are the 3 C's that any automotive technician that is performing warranty repairs has to abide by. When we write our stories on our repair orders, on the steps that we take to verify, diagnose, and repair the car, need to be written on that repair order for the dealership to get reimbursed for the repair by the manufacturer. So the first C is going to be concern. What is the concern? What does the customer say the issue is? So on the repair order, it will say, customer states engine runs rough, check and advise. That's going to be your concern. So that's your first C. Now, our job as the technician is to verify your concern. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to take the car out on a drive. We're going to see if we can verify, is this car running rough or is it a normal concern? I've seen it both ways. A lot of people don't like the way some of these cars run in eco mode. They lock up the torque converter a little early, and it does cause a little bit of a rumble, if you will. It kind of bogs the car down a little bit, but that's for another video. So once we verify the concern, whether it's a normal condition or it's not, our second C would be cause. So it goes concern, cause. Now the cause would be what is causing the customer's concern. So like I said, if it was a normal concern, we would say, a verified customer complaint, this is a normal operating condition, all is okay. And that would be it. That would be the end of the repair if it's a normal issue. If there is actually something wrong with the car, this is when we go ahead and start diagnosing what is the cause for the customer's concern. So at this point, we would go ahead, we would plug in our scan tool, we would check for codes, and you're going to follow your own personal diagnostic procedure. Every technician has their own way that they do things. So the first thing I like to do is I like to get the car in the shop. I like to scan it for codes. I scan the whole car, every module in the car, because I want the full picture on what's going on with that car. And based on what I find, I'm going to go further. I'm going to start checking for technical service bulletins, TSBs, to see if maybe this is a common issue that other dealerships have ran into. And I'm going to take it from there. If I have a misfire, say P03012334, it's going to tell me which cylinder is misfiring. At that point, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to start moving components around. I'm going to swap ignition coils. I'm going to swap spark plugs. I'm going to swap fuel injectors if they're easily accessible. And I'm really going to try to narrow down what's causing my misfire. So that's going to be our second C, which is cause. Once I verify the cause, I have my diagnosis, and I'm confident that this is my issue, we get to our third C, which is correction. Now the third C, like I said, is correction. And then that basically means, what am I, the technician, going to do to correct the customer's concern? So back to what I said about customer states engine running rough. Verified customer concern, found P0303 stored in history, found cylinder 3 misfiring and ignition, in the misfire counter, or maybe if you look at freeze frame, you saw cylinder 3 misfiring when it threw the code. So then you would say, swapped ignition coil 3 and 1, misfire followed ignition coil. At that point, you can fairly certainly say, yes, that ignition coil is what's causing the problem, because when I swapped that ignition coil from number 3 where the code was and moved it to number 1 and looked at your current data, cylinder 1 starts misfiring. So if it follows the component, you're fairly certain that that's your problem. So now you have your concern and your cause documented on the repair order. The correction would be replaced cylinder number 3 ignition coil, reset adaptive values, cleared codes, road tested vehicle, all is okay. And that is the correction. So the third C is the correction. That's what we do to fix the car. And like I said, all 3 of these C's need to be documented on that repair order for the dealership and the technician to get reimbursed for that repair for both the parts and the labor. Now, a lot of people might think, well, hey, the car is doing it, but it's doing it intermittently. And I'm going to tell you, intermittent concerns are one of the hardest issues to diagnose as an automotive technician. Because unfortunately, if we can't verify anything, say we spend 45 minutes driving your car and we can't duplicate what you're complaining about, we as the technician potentially get burned on that 45 minutes. That's 45 minutes that we don't get paid for. Depending on your dealership, if your dealership cares about their technicians, a lot of times they will put that in as an internal and pay you straight time for it. I was lucky enough to have a dealership in the beginning that would do that. Once management kind of got switched around, that kind of changed, and that's one of the reasons I got out of the dealership. But it's not that, like I said before, we want to fix your car. We want to get paid for it. So if we spend 45 minutes trying to duplicate a concern on your car, and we can't duplicate it, then unfortunately we're not going to get paid and we're not going to be able to fix your car because we can't verify your concern. And that is super important. For a lot of issues, Hyundai, for example, will ask for flight recordings. So it's basically a whole bunch of data lists recorded and sent to them to verify that you, the technician, did duplicate your customer's concern. And this is kind of what I'm getting at, where I said a lot of times our hands are tied. If we can't verify this repair and show, or this concern, and show Hyundai, Honda, Toyota, Nissan, whoever, that we did in fact duplicate your concern, there is literally nothing that we can do. And it's not us trying to be mean, or like I said, not that we don't want to fix your car, because like I said, we want to fix your car, we want to get paid. Now, while we're doing all of this, we are also doing what's called running time. So as soon as we pull your car into the shop, we'll sign on to the repair order, whether that's digitally, whether you punch it with a time clock. It all depends on how your dealership runs. And the whole point of this is the manufacturer wants to verify that you spent the amount of time that you're claiming you did on this repair from start to finish. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky. If you get a repair done too soon and punch off of it too soon, the dealership can actually get charged back for that, because the manufacturer will feel that you didn't spend enough time fixing this car, or maybe you actually didn't even perform the repair. Now, if they see this for the same repair in a bunch of different dealerships in a bunch of different areas, they can actually do a labor time study and cut the time on that repair. And as a technician, you don't want that. So if you're watching this as a technician and you're trying to learn things, definitely look up how long a repair takes as per the manufacturer, and be sure to run at least that much time on it. Even if you get the car done sooner than the time says, than the book says, keep running time on it until you hit that target time. Do not flag any less than what the manufacturer says the repair should take, because it can cause you problems, it can cause your dealership problems, and it can cause other fellow technicians issues. And this is what happened with Hyundai and their engine debacle. A whole bunch of guys figured out a faster way to do these engines, and they didn't flag enough time on them, and Hyundai said, wait a minute, these guys are getting these engines done in 4 or 5 hours, how is that possible? We're paying 8 hours for it. So they do their labor time study, they revise the procedure, and they cut 3 hours right off the top. And that screwed every Hyundai technician in the United States by doing that. So please, if you're a technician, run at least the amount of time that the book says the repair should take you. So that's going to be about it for this video. It's not overly complicated. This is just the way, as a trained automotive technician, that you perform warranty repairs. It's relatively the same from manufacturer to manufacturer. Some of them will ask for different documentation to show that you verified the repair, verified the complaint, and completed the repair, whether it's, like I said, mentioned before, running on time, sending in flight recordings, sending in screenshots of codes, things like that. If you have to use your voltmeter, you're going to want to put your voltage and amperage resistance on whatever wire, whatever circuit, whatever pin, whatever the wire color was. You're going to want to document everything to a T, because if there is a chance that the manufacturer is going to audit your repair, you want to make sure that you have all your, cross your T's, dot your I's, make sure that repair order is perfect. So with that being said, please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.